you jump into the water this weekend, a warning to be extra careful. Diving accidents are one of the leading causes of spinal cord injuries.
A woman now paralyzed says that you need to think twice before going in head first into the water.
So I decided to dive in, and there was only about a foot of water.
A day boating with friends near Big Rapids, turning it into a life-altering moment for Jennifer Kroll.
He said like how I hit was like a pencil and then just flattened out and just was floating on top of the water. But for me, I felt like I was going around in circles like an undertow.
She woke up 3 days later in the ICU at Spectrum Health in Grand Rapids.
So they had to fuse together C4 through C7 with a titanium plate. And they diagnosed me as quadriplegic. So in my eyes, I thought I was a vegetable.
2 months later and still on a ventilator, Jennifer was moved to Mary Free Bed.
She had to relearn how to get from point A to point B, like from the bed to the wheelchair or from the wheelchair to a shower chair, learning how to groom, dress, manage their bowel and bladder. And then speech therapy is always highly involved too.
Tracy Ustma was one of Jennifer's physical therapists. She says even when things seemed darkest, Jennifer never gave up.
I remember her just laughing, and I remember her having fun with the therapy and just, seizing the opportunity and making the most of it.
It's those moments Jennifer is still grateful for all these years later.
They pushed. They didn't stop. There was no feeling bad for you days. It was, you're gonna get up and you are gonna go do something.
After 3 months of therapy, Jennifer was able to return home to New Hampshire. She's now heavily involved in adaptive water sports and works as a peer mentor for others with disabilities at the only independent living center of its kind in the state. Osma says that it's stories like hers that show the importance of checking your surroundings before you even think about diving, especially into a lake.
It's a changing environment. So there may be a place that you've dove before, but the sandbars shift and there can be hidden objects under the water, especially if the water is murky.
The same goes for pools.
I've even heard of injuries where someone's playfully pushed into a pool, and just because they're not anticipating the force has resulted in a significant neck injury.
And when in doubt, Usma says play it safe and jump in feet first and never swim alone.
I've had patients who've been laying face down in the water, just hoping and praying that somebody comes to get them because they can't move. They can't roll over. They're just holding their breath.
Jennifer says she was lucky to have friends nearby the day of her accident and says she sees every day now as a gift.
Do I wish this didn't happen? Of course. I saw my life in a very different direction than this. But at the same time, I've never met more real people ever. My peers are amazing.
And some extra reminders from Mary Free Bed. Never dive into the shallow end of a pool. There will be signs there, so don't even attempt doing that. And the same goes for above ground pools. And also, Tracy says never to dive through water toys like an inner tube, because then those can move, just kind of flip you around.
All the time.
I know, it sounds like a lot of fun, but better safe than sorry.
Right.
Jennifer said better a cast on your foot, if you hit something for the whole summer rather than becoming, paralyzed.
Yeah, there was times where we used to jump off the boat into the inner tube and it had that thing sticking out and it would scratch you. So, things could get worse.
You just never know. She is an inspiration though, and she's doing really well.